Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings and Yahoo for Monday, April the 8th. No NBA slate today, so this is going to be my only video for today, just an MLB video. 8-game Monday slate. We're going to go through the pitcher-player pool, talk about some pitchers that I like today. We'll talk about 3 hitters that I'm looking to target, and then we'll go over some of the stacks that I'm going to be looking at, teams I want to stack up. We will go over BVP plays as well. For those of you interested in BVP, we'll talk about that at the end of the video. Before we do get started though, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. But starting off at the top of pitcher, we have Justin Verlander as the most expensive option today in a home matchup with the Yankees. This is definitely not a cupcake matchup for Justin Verlander, but it is a bit easier since the Yankees are without Giancarlo Stanton and they are without Miguel Andujar. Especially when you get to the bottom of the lineup, it's not as dangerous. DJ LeMahieu projected to be the 7-hole hitter. Then you have Clint Frazier, Tyler Wade. The Yankees have been dealing, or at least as of late, have been dealing with some easy matchups. Been getting to face some really bad pitchers. I got to face David Hess. I think they got to face Cashner. Now they get to face Justin Verlander, one of the best pitchers in the league. I think this is a spot where Verlander could still have some success against this Yankees lineup, and especially on a pitching slate where we don't have a ton of like aces, where we don't have like Scherzer or Sale or just any of those stud pitchers. Verlander does stand out to me, and he is definitely a pitcher I do like paying up for today. We're going to talk about a cheap SP2 that I like. I have a feeling he's going to be popular today, which is going to be surprising because we'll talk about why I'm surprised he's going to be popular. But he's just so cheap. He makes it easy to fit in Verlander. We'll talk about him once we get through Verlander. But Verlander, I just feel like is such a talented pitcher that he can have success even against this Yankees lineup. I like him on Yahoo as well. He's $54, most expensive pitcher. But now going to that cheap SB2 that I really like on DraftKings. Kyle Freeland is only $6,200, and I get that he's pitching at Coors Field. Obviously, taking pitchers in Coors Field is pretty risky. But Kyle Freeland is a very talented pitcher. He last year was even able to have success in Coors Field. Was still able to pitch pretty well there. Now he gets to face the Braves, which is obviously not a great matchup, a team that doesn't really strike out much. But this is a team that's definitely more dangerous versus righties than lefties. Albies does hit lefties well. Donaldson's not nearly as good of a hitter as he used to be. Freddie Freeman's a great hitter, but he's better versus righties, but can still hit lefties pretty well, so that's concerning. Acuna's pretty concerning. Nick Markakis doesn't strike out much, but he's not as good versus lefties as righties. Camargo's pretty talented versus lefties. But again, Kyle Freeland's such a good pitcher that I think he can work his way through this lineup and at least limit the damage, especially at 6.2K. Even if Freeland goes out there and struggles a bit and only gives you like 15, 16 DraftKings points, he is still a pretty decent play at his price tag on DK. So Kyle Freeland I like quite a bit today. If he was like 8K, I probably wouldn't have much interest in him. But since he's so cheap at 6,200, I think he's worth the risk, even though he's pitching in Coors Field. Now on Yahoo, it's a bit of a different story. Kyle Freeland is the next most expensive pitcher to Justin Verlander. He's $46 on Yahoo. I'll definitely look elsewhere. I don't feel like I need to play Kyle Freeland on Yahoo. On Yahoo, I like Vince Velasquez as my SP2. He's only $28, one of the cheapest available pitchers, which doesn't really make sense to me. Velasquez, this will be his first start of the year. He was obviously a starter last year, but this year hasn't started yet. Only pitched 1 inning in relief against the Nationals on April 2nd. Now he gets to face them again in a start. And on Yahoo, where he's $28, close to like minimum for a pitcher. The minimum on Yahoo for a pitcher is $25. Vince Velasquez definitely stands out. I think you can look to Eric Lauer at 31, but I do like Velasquez quite a bit at 28. Now going back to DraftKings and talking about some of the other pitchers I'm going to be targeting today, besides Verlander and Freeland, I think obviously Velasquez, if you want to go to him at 8,400, you can, but on Yahoo, where he's so cheap, that's where I really like him. Don't think I need to pay that price tag on DraftKings. Like, for example, Eric Lauer is $900 cheaper. Eric Lauer getting to face the Giants in a great pitcher's park in AT&T Park. Eric Lauer definitely looks like a great SP2 option at $7,500. Marco Estrada as well. I wouldn't mind at $7,300. Estrada's not that great of a pitcher, but he's facing the Orioles, and we know the Orioles are so bad offensively. Even though they've actually been able to put up runs so far this year, not really buying into it. I'm still going to be playing pitchers against the Orioles. So I like Estrada today at $7,300. Him and Lauer as cheaper SB2s, I wouldn't mind. You got Freeland as a very cheap SB2. You can't consider it 6,200. But that's probably the only guys I'm really looking at. Maybe Felix Hernandez I would mix into some lineups, but don't see myself really playing any of the other pitchers on this slate. A lot of them have pretty scary matchups. Chacin maybe against the Angels you could consider, but Mike Trout really starting to heat up. This Angels team still has a ton of power, especially at the top of the lineup. Chacin a little bit scary for me. Probably would honestly play Velasquez over him for just 300 more. So that's probably where I'm looking at pitcher today. Now talking about some hitters I like, starting off at first base. Kendrys Morales I really like here against Andrew Cashner. He's 4,300 on DraftKings, very cheap on Yahoo. He's $9 at first base. He's had a lot of success in this matchup. If we go over to the BVP and look at Kendrys Morales, he's gone 6 for 10 versus Andrew Cashner with 3 home runs, a 600 average, Had a ton of success against Cashner. It makes sense. Cashner's not a good pitcher. Oakland is one of my favorite stacks today. A 4.9 implied run total. They're in Camden Yards, which is a much better hitter's park than what they normally play in Oakland. I think Oakland makes a ton of sense as a stack today. Grossman, Chapman, Piscotty. Chris Davis didn't play Sunday. I'd expect he'd be back in the lineup. He's a great play as well. Morales I like quite a bit. Even Simeon, Profar I think you can go to. Hundley and Laureano probably won't be playing, especially because DraftKings kind of jacked up their prices. But the 1 through 6, 1 through 7, definitely in play for me for Oakland. Really like Kendrys Morales, though. Still has some power, even though he's older and on the tail end of his career. Still a guy that can hit home runs, especially when he's facing right-handed pitching. So I do like Morales quite a bit at 4,300. Also like Robbie Grossman on DraftKings as a part of that Oakland stack. He's going to be leading off, or he's expected to be leading off at 4K. Definitely makes sense as a cheap option you can get some exposure to from Oakland. I did have a pretty nice game on Sunday, actually homered. Had 3 hits and a double and a home run, 28 DraftKings points. We usually don't see that kind of upside out of Robbie Grossman, but still is a guy that does have a little bit of power. And in this matchup with Cashner that we obviously really like, you could see him take him deep here. So I do like Robbie Grossman as a part of my Oakland stack. Definitely, especially when you factor in his price tag, should be batting at the top of the order. He makes a lot of sense. Then going to Coors Field, this is where I definitely want to get some exposure to from the Rocky side. Really like Charlie Blackmon, 5,200 versus Julio Teheran. He's probably one of my favorite spend-up options on this slate. Probably a guy I think easily hits a home run here. $21 on Yahoo. Charlie Blackmon, obviously a very talented hitter, very good versus right-handed pitching. And Julio Teheran, we know just in the past and so far this year, struggling against lefties, never been a good pitcher against lefties. So like Blackmon, David Dahl, I think are very good plays. This projected lineup for the Rockies is expected to be very right-handed heavy, which honestly helps Teheran, but still a 5.7 implied run total for the Rockies. So Vegas still loving the Rockies here. I think Blackman's a great play. I think Dahl's a great play. I think Story and Arenado are pretty good plays as well. Ian Desmond, Mark Reynolds, I don't mind on DraftKings. We're going to talk about them on Yahoo. They're very cheap on Yahoo. I do like them quite a bit over there. On DK, you could look to them as well, but their price tags are pretty high to where I don't think they're as necessary. Desmond, though, I want to talk about on Yahoo. He's very cheap in the outfield, only $11 over here. Definitely like him as a part of a Rocky stack. I'm for sure going to be stacking up the Rockies on Yahoo, stacking up Oakland as well. Probably my top 2 stacks on the slate by far is the Rockies and Oakland. But Desmond went where on Yahoo he's so cheap at $11. I think does make a ton of sense. Obviously, Teheran much better against righties than lefties, but still a guy you can get to in Coors Field. Obviously, the best hitter's park in the game. Teheran should struggle here. He's very bad at holding on runners as well, which is something I think the Rockies could take advantage of here. You can easily steal on Teheran, so I expect if Blackmon, Story, Dahl, even Desmond, if these guys get on base, they're probably going to be stealing against Julio Teheran, which just gives them even more upside. So love a Rocky stack here. Love the lefties. I think the righties you could still look to as well. But that's it for my 5 plays, my 2 pitchers, and my 3 hitters for today. Now going over some stacks. Obviously, I've talked about the Rockies and the Athletics. Those are 2 teams I really like today. But if we're looking elsewhere, if we want to go to other places, the Mariners would definitely be third for me when it comes to stacks. I do love them here versus Homer Bailey. Homer Bailey, not a good pitcher. 4.7 implied run total for the Mariners. These guys have been hitting the ball very well this year, been red hot. Malik Smith, Mitch Haniger, Domingo Santana, Jay Bruce, Encarnacion, Narvaez. I think all these guys are in play. Probably like the 7 through 9 or maybe Tim Beckham. Tim Beckham's been really good this year so far, but D. Gordon, Ryan Healy, I'll probably leave off of my stacks, but like the 1 through 4, 1 through 5, that's where I'm really looking to from the Mariners. I love them versus Homer Bailey. And then I think you can get a little bit of exposure to the Phillies versus Anibal Sanchez. I could see them having some success, but they would definitely come fourth on the list behind the three teams I've already talked about. The three teams I've talked about, those are the three teams I'm really looking to stack up today. But let's go ahead and move on to BVP, talk about that real quickly before we end the video. So going to some of these Oakland bats, they've hit Cashner well. Chris Davis, 6 for 17 with a home run. I mentioned Morales, BVP, he's gone 6 for 10, 3 home runs off of Andrew Cashner, done very well versus him. Ryan Zimmerman, 5 for 11 with a home run off Vince Velasquez. Robinson Chirinos, 4 for 10 off of Masahiro Tanaka. Paul Goldschmidt, 11 for 26 with 3 home runs off of Hyunjin Ryu. He's hit him very well. Nick Markakis, 5 for 11, 2 home runs off of Kyle Freeland. Ozzie Albies, 5 for 12 off of Kyle Freeland. A couple of these Padres have hit Bumgarner well. Manuel Margot, 4 for 13. Hunter Renfroe, 5 for 13 with 2 home runs. He's really hit Bumgarner well. That's probably it for BVP. Mainly the top BVP play today is definitely Kendrys Morales with 6 for 10, 3 home runs versus Cashner. That's probably the top BVP play. Other ones that really stand out though are like Goldschmidt versus Ryu, Albies versus Freeland. There's one guy that's hit like 3 home runs. Morales hit 3. Goldschmidt's hit 3 off Ryu. Markakis has homered twice off of Freeland. Renfroe's homered twice off of Bumgarner. But that's probably it for BVP, guys. I think that is it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully it did help you. If you did enjoy the video, just make sure you click that like button down below before you get out of here. I would really appreciate it. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you do. Click that subscribe button down below so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. And if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, down below, or hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. But yeah, guys, really appreciate you watching the video. We'll see you in the next one. Good luck tonight. Peace.